Hi everyone and welcome to the Fox 56 Sports Show driven by Toyota. I'm Aaron Dugan. We're glad to have you with us tonight as we get closer to the end of the year. Just a few more shows left in 2016. Tonight we start the show at Meyers High School. A familiar face to the program and former standout athlete is back to coach the team, even though Meyers High School could soon be no more. We also head to Nanticoke. The Trojans and the team from Hanover High School joined forces as swim teams this year to compete as one squad, and we'll check in with the two schools to see how the merge is going. The Lackawanna League has some tough competition this year. Scranton Prep and Abington Heights, always two teams at the top, but the Scranton Knights have a tough bunch of athletes hoping to gel as the season moves on. We'll hear from Coach Tony Battaglia and some of the players. Finally, we stay in the same gym and get to see what the Scranton cheerleaders are all about in this week's Cheer Spotlight. During the week, make sure to follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you want to keep track of all the live sporting events we'll have this winter sports season, you can head over to the MyTV WQMY Facebook page, or you can go to fox56.com, click on sports. All right, let's begin tonight at Meyers High School. Anthony Mercadante back to the school where he had so much success as an athlete and hoping to instill some of his work ethic into this year's Mohawks team.
Anthony Mercadante is back home. A former standout wrestler at Meyers in the late 90s, he spent the last 5 seasons as the head coach at Hanover area. When the Mohawks job opened in the spring, Mercadante thought long and hard about going back to his alma mater despite the possibility of the school closing in the future.
Leaving Hanover was tough.
Yeah.
I spent 7 years there, 5 years as a head coach, working with some of those kids there for 4 or 5 years. And spending summers with them and going to camps over the summer, practice and stuff like that. So I grew a bond with a lot of those kids and stuff like that, and helped develop them as wrestlers and where they're at now. So making that decision, it wasn't as easy as I thought. I think I took 2.5 weeks. I talked to my best friends, my coaching staff, my mother, my father. I spoke to almost everybody that I could, my old high school wrestling coach, about the decision and what to do and stuff like that. But ultimately, when it came down to it, coming back here to my alma mater, putting the blue and gold on, and this is an opportunity that I've always dreamed of, back when I was in high school, and I realized, that I wanted to be a coach someday. I always wanted to come back here at Meyers, and, this is the last opportunity because of the school closures and stuff like that, so I decided if I didn't do it now, I'm not going to get that opportunity.
The transition has been as smooth as possible. Merc used to wrestle or coach here. He used to coach at junior high when my brother wrestled here. Okay. So I used to come over. He used to joke with me, when are you going to be in junior high? And then a couple years later, he went over to Hanover, but now he's back, and it's the smoothest transition we possibly could have had.
Honestly, he's made it 100% great. Transitioning from Swingle, a great coach, to Mercadante, another great coach, is just phenomenal. He just made it easier. He went to Meyers, he graduated from here, he wrestled for here, he had it in his blood, so that's why he came back, and that's why he's going to bring us to another championship this year.
It's just motivation because he wrestled for us and he wants us to succeed as much as he did for this program when he was here.
Leading the Mohawks this season is Colin Pizzone. The senior won the District II AA title last season at 113 pounds, and this past week won his 100th match of his career.
Just have my name up on the board of, Century Club, we call it here. Just be part of that. It would be very nice to be part of it. It's been very hard with a couple setbacks my freshman and sophomore year. Missing a couple matches here and there. Probably could have gotten it last year if I didn't get hurt, but just how it played out. My goal this year is place top 3 at states. That's my second goal besides placing top 3 is to get 131 wins. Me and him be top 2 in the all-time win record here at Meyers.
The rest of the Mohawks are a talented team that most rankings have as high as number 1 in our area in AA. But to achieve any goals this season, these Meyers wrestlers need to focus on the hard work.
This team, we have a lot of determination. We have a lot of discipline. We're great. We're competing to be the top, and I feel like I feel very confident that we'll get there.
Toughness. We're honestly the toughest team in this area by far. And we tear people apart, and that's where we come in to play.
Let's see. We have 13 out of the 14 weight classes, filled. Maybe hopefully we get heavyweight filled. But I have some good wrestlers. Obviously Colin Bassone, returning district champ, regional runner-up, state qualifier. So he's the leader of the pack. He comes in and works hard every day. But then underneath him you have Jeremy Burgle, you have Namir Murphy, and Kevin Hertero, Anthony Casper. They're all seniors as well, and like I said, they work really hard. They're committed wrestlers. A couple of the younger kids like Susu Burrows, Caden Strobel. I expect a couple things out of them as well. And then I set up in the upper weights, Preston Perkins, who found himself in the finals at the DKI tournament, which was a big thing. Lucas Borm as well. I mean, those are some big solid kids up top that I expect some wins out of this year, especially in big matches.
As sophomores, the senior class from Meyers won the District 2 AA dual championship. As juniors, they finished third. There are high expectations for this year's team, and they want to go out on top.
So look like in February, I believe we're going to win it all, So we're going to keep our title, we're going to win the next championship, and bring another one back home.
We want to be at the top. We want to win the district duels, and we want to go team states and hopefully place there. Be one of the first teams to ever win their first match down at team duels.
I told him, I said, just because Coach Swingle left doesn't mean the goals have changed. Our goals are still the same. I said, last time I wrestled here, I said, we were a Triple Crown winner. We won the conference, district duels, and the individual districts. So I expect the same thing out of this team. I said, but again, you got to keep climbing, you got to keep working, to get there. So I expect to be somewhere up top, in the mix with Hanover and Lake Lehman, and hopefully we can pull it out.
Coming up next, you'll hear from some members of the Scranton boys basketball team.